everybody, I'm Mia from TMBH, and today is Getting Through It Thursday, and we just talk about different coping topics. So today I wanted to talk about denial, because denial is, if you can't get past the fact that you actually have an issue, how are you going to cope with it? So we're just going to talk about some different forms of denial, because it doesn't always, it's not always the same for everybody. Like, the way that I might deny my problem is not necessarily the same way that somebody else might deny theirs. So the first obvious way is just flat out denial, not acknowledging you have a problem. So in this specific case, we're talking about substance abuse, right? So if we're talking about substance abuse, you might be like, I don't have a problem. I'm not addicted. I just use occasionally. You can drink alcohol and not be an alcoholic. I can use drugs and not be an addict. So that's a kind of more of an example of a flat out denial of your problem. So then the other thing is minimization or rationalization of your problem. The example that I just gave to you is probably closer to a minimization or rationalization, but you can't flat out deny, you have a drug problem. You can't be like, I'm not using. Then you just literally be lying to yourself. And I don't know how many people can actually do that much of lying to themselves. Anyway, but minimization and rationalization, it could be something more like, yeah, I don't have a problem. I use Coke once a week. I doubt that that's a problem. Or, I use Coke once a day. It's not a problem. I'm not like people who have to use it multiple times in a day. So there's just different ways that you'll rationalize your issue to make it seem like it's not really a problem. So then the next thing is admitting that you have a problem, but denying the consequences of that problem. That's a really big one, and also something that I feel like I do, but it's definitely a big one, which is, but not when it comes to substance, y'all. Anyway, so in this particular case, you might say, okay, I have a substance abuse issue, and you might say, I know that I take drugs, but it's not going to kill me. I don't take it to the point where I'm going to die. So that's denying a consequence. Or I'm not going to lose my job because of it. Or, but I won't lose my kids because I at least have it under control. So you're admitting, yeah, I have a problem. Yeah, I use drugs more than I should. But at the same time, you're denying these consequences that are coming with it. And you're like, it's fine. It's going to be fine. And that's not good either. So then not willing to seek help is another thing. So it's you admit that you have a problem, but you don't fully grasp the scope of your problem if you're not seeking help. Because ultimately, the only way that I think people will, and that you'll know for sure, that you firmly really have a problem, is when you get to the point where you acknowledge it's so much of a problem, you do need to seek help. If you haven't gotten to that point where you're like, yes, I have a problem, and yes, I need help, then honestly, you're still in denial, because drug addiction is something you need help for. And if you say anything other than that, then you're in denial of a basic fact about drug addiction. Another thing that people might do when they have a problem is just avoid talking about it. So you might know people who have substance issues who just generally don't want to talk about it. It might be something that they do alone. So for example, if it's an alcoholic, you might have somebody who's drinking a lot, but at the same time, they're never going to want to have a conversation about the amount that they drink. They don't want to have a conversation about negative drinking habits. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. Another one is using other people's behavior to justify your own. And again, that's something else that I do from time to time. Well, so-and-so is doing this, so it can't be too bad because I'm doing it too. Other people do it and they're fine. And like I said, these things are true not only for substance abuse though. This occurs in pretty much any facet of your life, but particularly I think when it comes to substance abuse, when you have behaviors like this, when you're in denial, it's dangerous because substance abuse can, and it's just a matter of when it's going to kill you most of the time. And so if you're in denial about that particular issue, it is incredibly dangerous. And all you can do is ask that a person who has that issue get out of denial and really do their best to work on themselves. So yeah, and then the last one that I wanted to share, because I found this one and I was I've heard this so many times from people, it's my life, I can do what I want, so what? Yeah, that is the excuse for people who have run out of every single excuse. They're not trying to lie to themselves or nobody else. They're just screw it. You know what? Yes, I have a problem and I know it. I know my problem's gonna kill me. I know I'm gonna lose my house and my family, but it's my life and I can do what I want. And I think when people are in that position, that's probably one of the harder positions to get somebody out of, because, I mean, when somebody knows that they're gonna die from doing something and they still choose to do it, the issue behind that substance abuse, the real deep-rooted issues that are causing that substance abuse, I mean, that's going to be hard. That's hard to fix. It's hard to, you know, that's a really hard thing, because you've got people who are admitting that what they're doing is incredibly bad and it can kill them, and they just don't care. Like, when you get to that point where you don't care about living, that's difficult, but that's when you need help the most. And if you go to seek treatment, then you're definitely going to be good. As long as you get treatment, you know, and you do your best to work on yourself, you can get out of that. So yeah, that is our topic for today, denial and the different forms of denial. So yeah, just check out our video, because we have a daily video, so check that out, not this one, the other one. And I will see you guys, not tomorrow, because we're not going live tomorrow. We're going live on Saturday, guys. We're going live at Saturday at 1. So we're going to make up Friday on Saturday. See you tomorrow. Saturday. See you Saturday.